What's going on, everybody? Spartan Overdrive back with another episode of Hybridcraft. We're going to call this number 53.2 since we are still in the series, the unedited, unfiltered, unrehearsed maybe? I don't know. All the words pretty much until we get that new computer up and running. But until then, let's take a look. Another weekly update of what's been going on in the world of Hybridcraft. Can we turn around quick? Hello, Mr. Blah Blah Black Sheep. How are you doing today? Looking at us all cross-eyed and funky looking. What a weird sheep. Guys, we've been working over here in the industrial sector. I've been at it some more. Remember all these crates that were here before? If you don't remember, originally, all this here used to be just one little area right here. This here connects up to our mob farm, and then that used to go into all these chests and stuff. And as you can see, they're gone because I figured we ought to move them into their own little storage bank. So now, basically, I hooked it up here, and then it kind of went up that ladder there, and or elevator rather, and over here and into this section here. But this section is full of all of our mining resources. So I decided, let's make another storage bank. Let's make a lot of these, and of course later we will decorate these up to be buildings and be cool, but we got to see how big they're going to be before we know what size to make. So this last row here is the bucket row. This is the overflow row, and what I've done is I have hooked it up to a little machine here. This is a loading machine. Now I could connect all of these up like this with these hoppers, but what I'm trying to do is create some more movement in my world, some more fun. And as you can see, I got my resource pack on that quietens this thing down because it was making way too much rickety racket for me and for my video. So I decided to quieten down for you guys. But anyways, this thing here loads up all of this stuff and then it sends it over here across the way. So we get to see this cool little motion every now and then. We cross over this little bridge and we see this minecart go below us. So it feels more industrial to me. So you saw it shoot across right there. It's going to go over there and then it'll fill this area up. Now let me show you quickly before we go over there why I went with this method here. I will put a link in the description below to the video where I learned this, because you guys know I am not smart enough to come up with this on my own. But here's the deal. There's a big flaw to a lot of minecart loaders. And that is that a lot of times these loaders will bug out once your minecart is full. So what this one does is it actually it does three things. It kicks the minecart out when it fills up with one item. It kicks a minecart up when it fills up with multiple items, which a lot of them don't do. And then the other thing that's probably most important, because it kind of combines the other two, is it kicks it out when it's not full of item, but all the slots are full, and this thing here isn't continuing to push items through anymore. So we might actually be finished. It looks like I brought you guys in just as it finished its last load. We'll go see what it's been hauling, but basically if there's nothing going through this anymore, it's going to kick the cart back out. So when we don't have anything being transported across this gap here, you're going to see this thing go back and forth a lot more often, which is great because I want to see some movement in the world. I want to see some action. So so this whole thing here, it did a little bit of bug out there. I don't know if that was supposed to happen. I don't remember doing that when there wasn't a minecart here, but anyways, yeah, I will put a link in the description so you guys can see how this works and why it's pretty much the coolest thing. It's a smart minecart loader is what it is. So it goes across this way under this bridge here and into this tunnel and then back behind this area over here. And this is where I was kind of trying it out to see if it would work and all that good stuff, and it did. And so it stops over here, it unloads everything, and it shoots all the items up these right here. And then when it's finished emptying itself, which it should be getting close to, well, we've got a few of items here. I tell you what, let's do this. Let's watch it move because I like to watch it move. Watch what happens. Oh yeah, it automatically, it knows, it's smart. It knows to go back over there. And I bet if we come over here, since there aren't any more items, yeah, it's just going to shoot right back. So it's just going to go back and forth, and that's going to create a lot more motion in our world to make it feel more alive, which I am all about, guys. You know that. So we should probably see it shoot through again here in a minute. But anyways, we got to design some buildings to go around these things, but I haven't done that yet because I need ideas of what other storage banks we can have. These are all the mob drops from our mob farm, and that's why I have them in bulk storage, because we're collecting a lot of those. Anytime we're in this area, pretty much, we're collecting these things slowly but surely. So you can see we've got a slime farm now. We've been collecting some slime. We don't have a whole lot of this stuff right here because not a lot of witches die. But as you can see, we've started to gather quite a few of these other items. And look at this last one, this bucket item, all the extra stuff. I got rid of all the the boots and all the other a lot of the stuff that I didn't need, and I'm gonna have to go through and sort through a lot of the stuff I do need, and I'm probably going to, I'm gonna have to sort through other stuff I don't need. Let me get my words straight. And what I'm probably gonna do eventually is put in another filter somewhere that will basically burn up all the stuff I don't use, because really I do not need all these fishing poles. I don't need all these bows and stuff, but I do want to keep this other stuff. So we might hook all this up to another automated system that cooks up our fish and all that kind of stuff for us. But frankly, we really don't need any of that stuff. But you know, I want this world to be around forever. I want to fill all this stuff up best we can. And yeah, and like bottles and sticks and arrows, we don't need those either. So I'll probably replace all this stuff. So now what I need is ideas, because what I'm thinking is, the reason we started with this is these are all the items over here that we typically collect when we're doing normal mining, right? This is just the raw resources. And then over here, these are the items I'm already collecting a lot of right now. So I want to have a place to sort through those so I don't have to do that manually anymore. So I need to make a lot more of these things, and we'll make different buildings that surround all these so they'll all look different and cool. But I need a lot more, and I need to decide which ones are going to be bulk storage like this with a ton of chests for one item, and which ones we're going to sort into, you know, where we can have multiple items in one chest using, I think, the Tango Tech item sorter, the smart sorter that he has. I will probably put in this vicinity somewhere, but this whole area around here will just be a bunch of sorting and storage mechanisms, and I want to connect them all up different ways. Like, I really like the minecart method because it shows some movement. And then over here, you know, we did this method where we have like this transportation thing that goes across. I think that's kind of a fun way to do things occasionally, because I think that looks real industrial. So we'll try to think of different ways for each building, but we'll probably repeat a few of them, like this one here, because I kind of like that. That's a lot of fun. It does slow things down a little bit, but again, I'm always over here, so it's going to be doing its thing. Ain't no thing at all. So the other thing we did, I mentioned the slime balls. You guys know I've been working on that. It's right over here. Oh my goodness, look at this big old jelly pit. Oh my goodness, it's nasty. On a live stream, I was trying to figure out how to make this thing work because it wasn't working with me. The lime green glass didn't blend in as well as I thought it should, but now it looks fantastic, and that's because I coated the entire sides with the slime blocks here. And so it looks a lot better, because before, originally I had dirt layers and stuff like that, so that's why it didn't look as good. And the idea behind this is, no, it's not a big old meteor crater hole, although I guess we could say that. This is just a giant pit where they store all their sludge from these factories around here. This is a dirty industry, right? We got black smoke coming out the chimney over there, and then we've got some kind of nasty sludge pouring in here, and that's what we did. I'm gonna have this, once we have a building there, I went ahead and built this because I really want that to be a feature of this building, is I want something pouring out here to show that people are just pouring their nasty junk in this place. And I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. And so the way we did this, if you guys don't know, if you put layers of glass stacked on top of each other, separated by air, so you have glass layer, glass layer, air layer, then you end up with this fog effect that's pretty cool. So I did that basically all the way down below us, which is, by the way, let's take a little nap and then I can show you guys. But all the way down below us is where the actual slime farm is. This leads right over the slime farm. So I did a couple that got me inspired. Doing that got me inspired to decorate the slime farm up a little bit more. And I will show you that in a minute. Well, ordinarily, this is where I would cut away, and you guys wouldn't have to watch me sleep and talk about this. But unfortunately, we can't do that. Let's put this stuff on, because guaranteed, last time I went down there, I almost died on some cactus. So let's go ahead and eat some stuff up and go down there and show you what I've been doing. Not a whole lot. But you remember last episode, I showed you the sewage area. Well, I feel like this would be a perfect contribution to the sewage, right? I feel like, can I close this? That's what I'd like to do, is close this door. Can I? Yeah, there we go. I was holding shift and it didn't allow me. So if we go down here, we can see that this connects, right? I wanted a reason. The whole reason I made that sludge farm, or that sludge area up there, is because I want a reason for having the slime over here, right? We have a slime farm here, and the reason, the lore, the myth behind it now is that up above us, we've got that slime pit, right? So because we have that big slime pit up above, that toxic waste dump, the idea is that somehow, some way, it's developed this area down here that we're going to beat up and make look like this. We're going to put these slimy holes in the wall and stuff. And I'm not sure the entire lore behind it yet for our world here, but I like it. I think it's going somewhere good. But you can see I've made a couple cracks here and here, another one down there. I'm running out of slime, so I couldn't do a whole lot. Let's see if I can make that hole. Can I? Oh, perfect. What was that? Was that a? Please tell me that was a slime dying. That scared the mess out of me. I thought I was about to get blown up by a creeper. Oh my goodness, it's dark and spooky down here, guys, but it's okay because I've got everything lit up just enough where I've got it on half slabs, so we shouldn't have any spawns down here, but you never know. It's still a little bit spooky, isn't it? But yeah, as you can see, some of that slime has oozed its way down here into the sewer, and I think adding that little bit back there actually makes a pretty big impact on this. And I'm probably not going to carry that through over here. I just want it over here near our slime. So the whole idea behind this, guys, is put a reason, make a reason for your builds. If you got a slime farm, what's your reason behind it? Is it some kind of toxic ooze like we've got going on here that you can build a lore around in your world? Or is it something completely different that I haven't even thought of yet? Same thing with this item transportation here. It's now like a ductwork. It's a sewage area, right? So that's kind of the lore behind it in my world. I'd love to hear what you guys do for the lore in your world. And if you got any more ideas for me for this kind of stuff, for these, like I said, these industries, what we're going to do, I would like to make each thing, each storage area, like its own little industry. And I'm not sure exactly what we'll do yet, but you know, sometimes you start laying down the blocks and it kind of comes to you over time, doesn't it? And that's kind of what's happened to me today, or this week rather, is I started laying down some blocks and I started thinking about it. Oh, I've got these slime blocks everywhere. Oh, it just happens to be in our industrial area. We should make this stuff some kind of toxic sewage sludge type stuff, right? And I just and I decided I wanted separate banks. I don't want it all one giant building. I want a lot of different buildings, and then I want to connect them up with a lot of different ways of connection, like these rails here, or like this little thing here. Maybe we'll spit the items out into a water stream and let them fall over the edge like that into something down the road. That might be kind of cool, actually. Maybe that'll be how we connect up our next facility. But I got to think of the different facilities we want. We can have a ton. There's so many blocks in this world. Oh my goodness, I'm hitting wrong buttons. But we can have an absolute ton of different facilities. And I'm thinking, you know, we'll have one just for the process stuff. This is for all of our mob drops from the actual mob farm, but we're going to need some more for like the mob drops for like passive mobs, like leather and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna need all kinds of stuff. But yeah, anyways, guys, this is kind of what I'm working on right now. I hope it gave you a little bit of inspiration for your own worlds. If it did, or if you do stuff like this and you got ideas for me, please let me know down in the comments below. Until next time, guys, as always, take it easy and keep it creative.